what I think, I guess, should change, especially from where I come from, because our public school system is going through so much right now with budget cuts. I think that if they're going to cut the budgets for schools, period, then instead of cutting the things that directly affect the children and the kids, they should cut the fat off the top, where you might have, somebody who has like this, this elaborate title in a desk in an office, but what do they do? Like, what is their job for real? That's a budget that could be cut instead of a music program or an art program. A lot of people who are in charge, they think, how can we cut a budget so I can still get paid, instead of how can we cut a budget so that the kids are taken care of and so that these programs can continue and things like that. That is a big part of the problem. But I think on the other side, the problem also, starts where we have, because I actually work in schools and I substitute teach, and I'm going to be teaching a class in the fall at a charter school. Yeah, I'm going to be teaching a hip-hop course, hip-hop studies course. I'll do everything from politics to religion to fashion, representation of men and women in hip-hop, to history, to the future of hip-hop. We'll go into the different markets of hip-hop, different genres of hip-hop, all that stuff. So we have to show, because whenever I was in school, going to college wasn't real to me. Like, going to jail was more real than going to college. Like, I really thought that was more of a reality. Not like I wanted to go to jail, but like I thought that's what everybody did in their lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if we have to start to show these kids and help, train these kids with real life skills, so that, they understand that, the world is way bigger than where they grew up in. Not only that, there are so many opportunities for you to be the things you want to be and who you want to be, because, what we show them are, Kim Kardashian. What we show them are, basketball players. We don't show them, doctors and things like that. Like, I have friends that, are doctors that are black, that grew, what I'm saying? Like these are like people that grew up where I grew up, but they didn't get there by the public school system. They got there by actually going out of their way, some other way. And I've gone to other cities and I've seen, the schools, and, they might have, a counselor in that school, in that high school, that all they do is prepare students for college. All they do is make sure kids are ready to go to college, where in our school, we don't have any of that. There's a couple schools I'm kind of seeing that are kind of grasping that, but for so long, there are no schools where, it was like college is a reality and higher education is important. I remember thinking, man, all I gotta do is graduate high school. People where I come from, that's what I want to do, is make sure at least we graduate high school. And not only that, just do enough to pass. I got a D so I can make sure I could just get out of there. So I think that those are the things that we need to look at when it comes to not only dealing with education, but making sure that kids do want to stay in school, and making sure kids do have the tools. If you make a kid feel like he's not important or he's not worth anything, why are you going to stay in school if you cutting the programs and things that he enjoys to do?
But yeah, it's about taking a journey, you know what I mean? So it's even asking some questions to myself, even if we look at the track titles, basically saying why am I still continuing to do this music stuff? And then the rebuttal is, I will never know.
We were listening to everything like pop, new wave, whatever, rock. And then, of course, hip-hop started coming. I mean, we didn't know it was called hip-hop. Hip-hop really got really big in the West Coast is because of 1580 K-Day.
And now what are they doing? They're trying to rise up, and they started this Black Lives Movement in the same way that our parents and James Brown was like, I'm black and I'm proud. It's the same thing, you know what I'm saying? So my fear is that at some point, none of us are actually reading our actual history to be like, we tried that already.
It's not just the work, it's the pressure on top of it. It's the pressure of you doing something that no one else is doing. Everyone sees college and job and this and that. So you have that pressure of people non-stop asking you questions. When is this gonna happen? When is that gonna happen? So that's the hardest thing of this whole game. It's doing something that no one else does.